Hey there, I'm Anthony Romano. I've been doing keto for 8 years, and I'm going to tell you how to properly use bulletproof coffee on a ketogenic diet in this video. Okay, so there's a lot of misconceptions I'm going to clear in these few minutes, and I'm going to tell you the best ways to use bulletproof coffee for fat loss and for general health and well-being. So, there's a few reasons you might be interested in using bulletproof coffee. Now, I'm going to tell you the best way to make it, and I'm also going to tell you the best situations to use it in. So, for starters, a lot of people get into keto for fat loss purposes. You can use bulletproof coffee for fat loss purposes, but you don't have to, okay? Don't know how many times I have to say this. You do not require bulletproof coffee to get into the ketogenic state.
Just crushed leg day with my girl here. Now I'm going to slam some keto juice for recovery, and then it's back to the daily grind, baby.
Everybody thinks you need bulletproof coffee, you need to dump butter on everything. That is false, okay? Keto is a low-carb diet. It is the absence of sugar that gets you in ketosis. It is not a dump fat on everything, high-fat diet. It is a high-fat diet for therapeutic ketosis, so people with epilepsy, with certain conditions. But for most people who are doing it for a boost to their health, their mental fluidity and cognition and energy levels and fat-burning purposes, it is not a high-fat diet, okay? Of course, as a byproduct of cutting carbs, you're going to go higher in fats, but it doesn't have to be the focal point of high fat, okay? So that's one thing out of the way here. And by the way, download my guides and go to my website, romanoketo.com, to get my programs and my books on these topics to clear everything up, make keto so easy for you, okay? And my coaching services as well. But link in the description, along with the products I'm going to be showing you as to how to make bulletproof coffee properly, which is what I'll start off with here, okay? So, key components of bulletproof coffee, you got MCT oil and grass-fed butter or ghee, okay? Now take a good look at these things, okay? Notice this butter / ghee is yellow, okay? Now, ghee is clarified butter and it's better to use because it has a higher fat-soluble vitamin content. I'm telling you, regular store-bought butter is not optimal for this. You want high-quality grass-fed butter, okay? Because what the animal eats makes it into their nutritional content of their byproducts, and also, of course, the animal is going to be treated better if it's led to eat its natural diet in its natural environment. So, grass-fed butter, ghee is even better because it's clarified, and if you're allergic to casein, you might have a harder time with butter or other dairy products. Ghee, basically nobody has any reactions to, okay? So, this is high quality stuff, and it is a superfood. It is literally one of the most healthiest foods you can consume. And if you watch my video on bulletproof coffee and all of its health effects, which I'm going to link here, I'm telling you, that video is like 20 minutes, but it's going to tell you all of the benefits on how even just consuming ghee every day is one of the primary health benefits of bulletproof coffee because it has so much drawback effects on your colon from the butyric acid. There's so many trickling down benefits that come from consuming ghee and its fat-soluble vitamin content every single day. So, ghee is great. MCT oil. This is where a lot of people slip up, okay? I buy high-quality MCT oil because even though it's a luxury, it does make a difference mentally, okay? Now, for a lot of people, they'll just throw in coconut oil, and this can work, but the benefits are far more profound when you actually use MCT oil. And from there, you want it to be a good quality MCT oil because for a lot of people, they will have stomach upset and they'll be running to the bathroom if they have too much coconut oil or too much low quality MCT oil. What is low quality MCT oil? It's MCT that has too much lauric acid, too much C12. It's just one of the MCTs that upsets people's stomach. And high quality MCT oil is not only better used by the brain, but it doesn't cause as much stomach upset. So, of course, don't down the whole bottle, you know, keep it to 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon if you're new, but essentially this stuff is literally rocket fuel for the brain and body, and it doesn't come with any, consequences in that sense. So get high quality MCT oil, link down below. Credit to, Bulletproof because they created this stuff. Dave Asprey made this MCT oil because basically it's the most filtered out you can get, and it has only C8, which is the best type of MCT oil. So if you find pure MCT that's pure C8, that's the best way to go. But, even if it's a little bit of C10 in there, that's fine. Just not C12, aka lauric acid. So let's get into the ways to use this, okay? So for weight loss purposes, you have to keep in mind your calories, okay? You don't want to throw your calories off But calories are not the be-all, end-all of everything. You can watch my other videos to hear about that more. But basically, calories and macros are yin and yang, okay? It's not calories are king, macros are queen. They both can veto each other out. But on a ketogenic diet, you're really playing the hormonal side, so the macro side of things. The point here is, as long as your calories aren't being thrown off because you're having, loads of bulletproof coffee every day, I think you'll be fine. But for a lot of people, this means fat fasting. Okay, so extending a fast, an intermittent fast even, by consuming bulletproof coffee. Because there's no sugar in here, there's no proteins to actually initiate digestion or enzymes in your gut or in your stomach more so. This is going to digest very slowly in your body and move through your lower intestine at a slower rate, which basically keeps you in the fasted state, keeps you in heightened fat burning. And you also get a boost to your brain from the MCT oil, and also a boost to your colon from the GHEE. So essentially, the first method of weight loss using bulletproof coffee is simply fit it into your calorie intake, as long as you're not jacking that through the moon. And from there, you use this to essentially blunt appetite. You use it to boost productivity a certain amount of time, and also to extend fasts. That is the primary method of using bulletproof coffee for weight loss, okay? Then we have the health benefits of fat fasting, okay? So there's also autophagy, which is cellular cleansing. The longer you fast, right, and I'm talking real fast, like not even like, having anything, just electrolytes and maybe a little bit of something like MCT oil. The longer you fast, the more cellular cleansing you get. This is autophagy. It's where your body feeds the weaker cells to the stronger cells. And this is how a lot of people get therapeutic benefits from fasting and from ketosis. So ketogenic fasting is even more effective. And essentially, fat fasting allows you to kind of dance on the edges of autophagy a little bit longer than if you had ate something, okay? So that is more the health benefits of fat fasting, but let's get into the primary health benefit, okay? Primary health benefit is a ketone boost, okay? Besides the fact that your colon's gonna be getting more butyric acid, which is its preferred fuel, and you're gonna have way smoother digestion, you're gonna fix a lot of gut imbalances in that way. But the main thing is the ketone boost itself is going to amplify. Basically, it's gonna, at first you're gonna use the ketones that have just came in, okay? After that, your body's need for ketones is gonna go up because it just churned through a bunch. So you're basically going to put higher demand for your body to make its own ketones. And at which point, then you'll have heightened fat burning, and your brain is also getting better at using ketones from consuming these things. Most of the ketones, once you're adapted, go straight to your brain. So huge energy benefit mentally and also physically. But from there, we basically have MCT as a ketone boost, okay? So this could be more productivity. For a lot of people, it could be, better sleep at nighttime if we're just talking MCT here. No coconut oil, no coffee. But overall, that is how you use bulletproof coffee on a ketogenic diet, okay? You want to stay in ketosis. You can also use this if you're not in a ketogenic diet. It can put you into ketosis and basically give you dual fuels, but essentially on keto and for all keto purposes. Fat loss, lifestyle, health, that is how you use bulletproof coffee. You also, side note for coffee tips here, get good quality coffee. Don't use like the instant coffee that's way higher in mold toxins. If you've read Dave Asprey's book, he talks about that quite a lot. So get good quality beans, okay? But that's not really the focal point of this video. Besides that, last thing I'll say is don't rely on having this thing first second when you wake up, because that's going to naturally downregulate your cortisol in the morning. Cortisol helps you wake up. So the cortisol is naturally going to be higher, but if you rely on coffee to get out of bed, which I've had at times in my life, you're eventually going to perpetuate a bad sleep cycle. So save the coffee, whether it's bulletproof or not, for a little bit after you've woken up already, okay? You want that natural cortisol rise. Now, like the video, subscribe, share this with somebody, and watch the rest of my videos, okay? There's plenty more, especially that one on the health benefits of bulletproof coffee, because I try to get this practical usage video out, but realistically, bulletproof coffee has a load of benefits, and you should watch that video because it's going to change your life if you're able to make it a habit that you do every day, okay? I've noticed amazing health benefits from it. So, last thing is you don't need bulletproof coffee to do keto properly, but it does help, especially with adapting, because that influx of ketones and getting your body better able to adjust to digesting fats. That's it. And last thing I'll say about GHEE is what you want to look for is you want to look on the ingredients and make sure there's no colorings in there, because a lot of times brands will color it to make it more yellow. It looks pretty yellow in this light, but realistically, grass-fed butter and ghee, is yellow because the carotene's in the grass, which was then fed to the cow, which then created the dairy product. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, peace.